Deion Sanders doing what he told us he was going to do. Go to the portal, get some new offensive linemen, try and fortify the line of scrimmage a little bit, build the trenches a little bit. Is this sort of, the fix? Is this all we need to see now from Deion, going to the portal and adding some offensive linemen? Also got Jordan Seaton to commit from the high school ranks, a 5-star from IMG. That's a big deal. Shouldn't look past that. Are the happy days back in Colorado? Does Deion Sanders totally fix the operation? Well, we'll talk about it here in just a second. First things first, though, make sure you subscribe right here to the On3 YouTube channel. Talking college football every single day. Hey, we are live now tomorrow, Tuesday, 11 a.m. Eastern. Going to have our predictions for these college football playoff games. So make sure you're dialed in tomorrow on this channel. Again, 11 a.m. Eastern. The hard count will be live. Get in the live chat. We'll have a good time. We appreciate y'all in advance for that. So let's set the table here. Deion Sanders told us during the season, we're going to get new linemen. That's how we fix this. That's how we start moving in the right direction. He said he was going to do it. Promise made. Promise delivered by Deion Sanders. They have now added 5 offensive linemen through the transfer portal. Again, they also added a 5-star from the high school ranks in Jordan Seaton, who committed on undisputed and is, again, at this time committed to give his talents, or take his talents rather, to Boulder, Colorado. So the original thought I had on this is, all right, great step in the right direction. And last year, it was very obvious where the pain points were. Quarterback is sacked over 50 times. Offensive line issue. You can't run the ball. 2.3 yards a carry. Offensive line issue. 68 yards a game last in America, as is that yards per carry number. Offensive line issue. So like that was very clear. The entirety of this season, even when Sean Lewis was calling plays, this offense was playing left-handed. You couldn't keep defenses honest because running the football was never a threat. Okay, so now you're saying we're going to go in, get some new personnel, kind of upgrade that position group, and go forward now because we feel good about the skill players, feel good about our quarterback, and that's all I think makes a lot of sense on paper. I'm here for it. But I think my thought right now is it's a great step in the right direction. I don't think it's just fixed. Because to me, Colorado last year was the equivalent of the kid showing up on the first day of school without the right supplies. Right? Had a great laptop, had some shiny things, had a cool outfit now. Showed up with Shedeur Sanders playing quarterback for you. Travis Hunter's on the outside. They won the first 3 games. That laptop works for the first few days until you need the textbook, until you need to have the proper tools to study with. It only gets you so far having the flash. And I'm not saying they were all flash, but I am saying some key things for success were not there in Boulder, Colorado by nature of what they're doing right now through the transfer portal. They understand that. They did not have the right supplies. So now, just because you have the correct supplies does not equate to success. Okay, just because I have the textbook, just because I have the notepad and the pens now that I needed for that first day of class because I showed up next semester with the right supplies, doesn't equate to just success. It might be better, you're better positioned for success, but I think there's still a process here that has to take place in Boulder, Colorado for us to get where we're talking about going, which is conference titles and college football playoff berths and all those things, okay? Star power for Deion Sanders, I want to make sure we say this too. We can't treat Deion Sanders like a regular coach. We can't. You can't view him through the same lens as you would some other Power 5 head coach. Why? Because the brand power, because the star power. We said it in a previous video, previous live show even. We said Deion Sanders, whatever he does, good or bad, it's 10x in terms of the exposure, the visibility, and the impact. Okay, when they started losing games last year, everybody was jumping on the Deion's not the right guy in Colorado train. They're a fraud. They're this, they're that. Like everyone was so quick to define what they were in Colorado. The reality was it was year 1. They overhauled the roster. They won 1 game a season ago. Is it really as bad as it looks in Boulder? Hard to say that from the first year. If it was another coach, we'd say, hey, good for them. They won 4 games. Yeah, kind of had some issues at the back end of that thing, but going from 1 win to 4 wins, that's improvement. Good for Coach Prime. We'll see where it goes. And not the whole fire and brimstone, it's never going to work in Boulder, Colorado. That's just the nature of what you have when you have Deion Sanders as your head coach. Star power, brand power, more visibility. People have more opinions when you are more visible, okay? So as much as it works negatively, it also works positively. And we're seeing it right now. Deion Sanders and his ability to acquire talent should never be underestimated. What has history told us? He went and flipped, when he was at Jackson State, an FCS school, he went and flipped the top player, or one of the top players rather, in the country in Travis Hunter to follow him to an FCS school instead of going to a Power 5 school. Okay? He got Jordan Seaton, 5-star offensive tackle, to commit to Boulder, Colorado, to play for him in Colorado over other SEC and other operations at more established programs. His ability to acquire talent should never be underestimated. Okay? So just because they got some guys right now doesn't mean they're done, is what I want to make sure we say. And in a talent acquisition world of college football, Deion's going to have more than the right supplies, I would have to imagine, in the next few years, and maybe even this year. We'll see what happens. But going back to what I was saying, having the right supplies doesn't mean you get the right results. Because the way that I feel now is, as much as I was concerned about the line of scrimmage, because I was concerned about the line of scrimmage, had no doubt they would go to the portal. But my concern on top of that, maybe as important as that, is the dysfunction we're seeing on the outside looking in. Now, some of that could be year one growing pains. Some of that could be a roster getting to gel together, especially after the way their season finished with kind of that losing streak. It could just be a thing where it's kind of got to run its course. That's very possible. But the dysfunction we're seeing from the outside looking in, looking outside the house, looking in the house, through a window, mind you, coaches leaving. Got players tweeting about a selfish brand of football internally. That, to me, screams dysfunction. So you can have all the right supplies. You can have the right people from a talent level, but the talent doesn't matter if we can't put it together and can't have it function properly. It doesn't matter what the car looks like. It doesn't matter what kind of tires we got. It doesn't matter what kind of interior we have if that engine won't totally rev how we need it to rev. Those parts won't work together. So I'm excited to see how this goes forward, because I think at the end of the day, again, zero question about talent. I don't think long-term we'll have a big question about talent at Deion, or when it comes to Colorado under Deion Sanders. I'm not saying that's the case this year. I'm saying in the next couple of years, give them some time. Like, they're going to have the right players. They're trying to make do right now via the portal and trying to now portal in an offensive line. Will it work? We'll see. That's the beauty of college football. But the dysfunction of things is what I'm watching and how that carries over from year one to year two. I'm not saying it was all bad in year one. If you think it was all bad in year one, you weren't watching Colorado. The way it started out, the momentum, the brand they were for that first month of the college football season, like, yes, they won one game in 2021. It's probably going to take some time, or 2022 rather. Probably going to take some time. I think it will take some time, but at this point in time, got the right supplies. Can they put the right processes, and can they function well together? That's the thing I want to watch. This thing I want to see with Colorado going forward, because I don't think it'll be a talent acquisition game for them and what will hold them back. So with that being said, we'll keep an eye on this thing. We'll keep talking about Coach Prime and company going forward whenever we have something to talk about with them that y'all care about. And we'll see what happens, because I'll tell you this, we will never count out Coach Prime when it comes to acquiring talent, which is, of course, the way college football is structured right now. Appreciate y'all rocking with us. Make sure you subscribe. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at JD Paquel. We appreciate y'all. We love y'all. We're going to keep this party rolling. We will see y'all next time. Hey, y'all. Thanks so much for watching. Subscribe to the channel here to make sure you don't miss an episode of The Hard Count. Also, be sure to check out other videos on the On3 YouTube channel.